The following contest is a submission match. On the way to the ring, from Palatka, Florida, McCool. And the opponent, please welcome Kelly.
A big bienvenue to our fans around the world from Montreal, Quebec. Jim Ross here with Jerry the King Lawler.
And folks, let me assure you that tonight's show is a lot better than JR's French. Sheesh.
Well, there's no question of that, King. These Montreal fans are ready to get started, and so am I. So what are we waiting for?
Well, from the looks of things, it's not hard to tell how this one's gonna go.
What are you talking about, King? I think this is still an extremely competitive match that could go either way.
You know, JR, it's obvious that the only exercise you get is stretching the truth or jumping to conclusions.
Well, judging from the shape I'm in, I don't appear to be doing too much of either, King. You're looking pretty fit, though, I must say. Excellent counter. What ring presence. This is Raw action at its finest. That's why Raw is the #1 brand of sports entertainment.
You got that right, JR. You're not going to see this kind of action on Smackdown.
Not on. Oh boy, the adrenaline is pumping. I think this could be the beginning of the end.
No, it can't end like this. Come on, do something, quick! You talk about ruthless aggression. Look at the way these superstars have been going after each other.
They're not playing with kid gloves, that's for sure.
We knew we were going to see a heck of a match.
Look at this! Look at this! You talk about a house of fire, you're seeing it right here!
Yeah? Well, somebody better put out that fire, or this one's not going to end well. Any superstar shows the slightest hint of weakness, they've lost the match.
That's for sure. No matter how beat up you are, you can't ever let your opponent know the extent of your injuries.
And that's easier said than done, JR. The human body can only absorb so much punishment. This has gone beyond just being a match, JR. I think these superstars genuinely hate each other.
There's no love lost between these competitors, that's for sure. If looks could kill...
Oh no! This is terrible! You can't let your opponent build this kind of momentum!
Well, all I can say is someone's been eating their vitamins and saying their prayers.
These superstars are beating the heck out of each other, and this crowd can't get enough of it.
It's what they paid to see, King, and they're getting their money's worth tonight.
They sure are, JR. There's no question these superstars are earning their paychecks. I might have a few years on Kelly, but fortunately for her, I don't have a problem dating younger women.
I should hope not. At your age, I'd imagine that's most of them. These superstars are going to put each other through wrestling hell tonight.
They've already got a pretty good start on that, JR.
They have indeed, King.
Yes, that was an incredible move. What strategy?
Strategy, my Oklahoma ass. That's cheating, plain and simple. I think Michelle McCool's out to teach her opponent a lesson here tonight.
I wish I could get a little one-on-one tutoring from Michelle.
You know, it would be worth it if she could teach you how to hold your tongue every now and then.
I'll bet there's a few things she could do that would leave me speechless. I wonder if Kelly's doing anything after this match.
Come on. You're old enough to be her.
Her older brother, I know.
I've got a feeling that this has all the makings of an instant classic.
That's probably just gas, JR.
Well, I did have some good old Oklahoma barbecue before tonight's show, but I don't think that's it, King.
You gotta respect the commitment and the dedication of these superstars to their careers.
No question about it, King. Every superstar on the roster has had to make more sacrifices than any other professional athlete I know.
It really is like being married to your career. There's not much room for anything else.
And marriage is a subject which you happen to be something of an authority. Isn't that right, King?
Come on now, JR. A man doesn't know what true happiness is until he's married. And then it's too late. I don't remember teachers being as hot as Michelle McCool when I was in school.
Well, that was before the invention of the electric light, so you probably just couldn't see them very well.
Make fun all you want. There's nothing you can say that will ruin my mood. Not while I'm watching Michelle in action.
This match is this capacity crowd is solidly behind their superstar. Look at this!
Wow, could you be any more biased, JR? How about some fair and balanced commentary? You can look at any professional sport you want, JR, and you won't find more incredible. I think someone's going for a high-risk move, JR.
That was fair. Boy, howdy. This Kelly is something else, isn't she?
She sure is. She's almost enough to make me say something nice about ECW. Almost.
A lot of blood, sweat, and tears have been shed in that very ring.
And I think there's going to be a lot more shed here tonight.
No doubt about that, King. These superstars are going to leave it all in the ring. You can count on that.
I talked to these superstars backstage before the match, and I don't think I've ever seen competitors so ready to get it on.
And that's coming through loud and clear here tonight in this match. They're not taking it easy on each other either.
It's been said a million times, but I'll say it again. This isn't ballet. Ruthless aggression is the name of the game. I don't think these superstars have any intention of taking it easy on each other tonight.
That's not what they signed up for, King. And quite frankly, I think these fans would be disappointed if they didn't go all out.
Well, that's easy for the fans to say. They've never set foot inside that ring.
No, but they spend their hard-earned dollars to watch what goes on inside it. And without them, we'd all be out of a job.
Michelle's supposed to be a teacher, but
oh man, I think we're about to see a high-risk move here. These top rope moves are always difference makers, for better or worse. Oh my, Kelly is showing us something here tonight.
I wish she'd show a little bit more. She's an exhibitionist, you know.
How could I forget? That's all you were talking about before this match started.
Well, I can't help it. I'm passionate about the things that interest me. Did you ever think you'd be watching these superstars compete against each other here tonight, JR?
I had a feeling their paths were going to cross sooner or later. and I'm glad I'm here to see it.
Me too. It almost makes it worth having to sit next to you and listen to those corny expressions of yours. What the heck is a government mule anyway?
It's what you get beat like when you're in the middle of a slobber knocker. And if you don't have the guts to stick around, you might run like a scalded dog with a case of the limber tape.
All right, enough! I'm getting a translator before I have to come out here with you again. You think these fans have gotten their money's worth tonight, JR?
If they haven't yet, I'm sure they're going to by the end of this match.
Well, I don't say this too often, but I completely agree with you.
These superstars are in terrific shape, and that comes as no surprise whatsoever.
No kidding. If you don't have that conditioning, you're not going to last long in a match.
You sure aren't. And that's only one of the many reasons I try to stay out of the ring whenever possible. Well, you can't ever accuse the WWE fans of being shy about saying what's on their minds.
You sure can, JR, and I don't think we'd have it any other way.
This is her chance.
Ow! I've been slapped like that a few times in my day. I didn't deserve it.
You know, I bet you could have been a straight A student if more of your teachers looked like Michelle McCool.
Maybe, but if Michelle was my teacher, I'd have been going for a couple of D's too.
Kelly certainly is a beautiful young woman. But I'm sure you wouldn't have anything to do with a ECW vixen now, would you?
Well, hold on there. Kelly's a young woman, and she's bound to make a mistake or two.
Gee, let me guess. You're hoping to be her next one. I tell you, King, I've got no earthly idea how these superstars can maintain this intensity week after week after week.
It's not easy, JR. There's no off-season. It's not like you've got 6 months to recover after WrestleMania.
That's for damn sure. That's why I don't think there can be any doubt this is a risky move. It could prove to be disastrous.
I think we're going to find out just how much punishment the human body can withstand here tonight.
I think you're right, King. These superstars seem intent on taking each other to the limit.
I love that attitude, JR. Go big or go home.
Well, these superstars sure aren't going home until this match is settled once and for all. You're putting a lot on the line when you climb that turnbuckle. Boy, what a match. I wouldn't even hazard a guess as to who's going to win this thing.
What? Have you got both your contacts in one eye, JR? It's been obvious to me since the start.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing, King? Looks like turnabout is fair play.
Man, is there even going to be anything left of these superstars by the time they're done?
That's a short climb, but a potentially long fall.
Looks like someone's heading for the high rent district. I think I see where this one's going, JR. I don't think we're very far from the end of the match.
I disagree entirely, King. I bet my Oklahoma Sooner ass that this one isn't even close to being over.
That's a pretty big bet, JR. Are you sure you're able to cover it?
I'll tell you what, King, the WWE superstars are about the greatest athletes you'll find in any sport, period.
What do you mean, just about, JR? Can you actually think of anywhere else that you can see athletes of this caliber?
I was just going for a little humility there, King. I'm not surprised it was lost on you. Michelle McCool is one of WWE's hottest divas, but her attitude leaves me a little chilly.
Speak for yourself. I think I've got a schoolboy crush on Michelle.
Oh, So you've moved up from schoolgirls to teachers. Would you look at that? A blatantly illegal maneuver. That should be a disqualification.
You might be right, JR, but I don't hear the ring bell. This match is still going.
This capacity crowd is making their opinions known tonight.
They sure are, JR, and I love to hear it. I wonder if SmackDown's going to have anything nearly this good next Friday.
I think we both know the answer to that one, King. How could they compete with a match like this?
So, how do you think this one's going to turn out, JR?
Honestly, King, I have absolutely no idea. Anything can happen here in the WWE.
But you've got to have a guess, right?
I might, but I'd rather keep it to myself if it's all the same to you, King. What an incredible performance by the...
Wow! Stealing your opponent's finishing move definitely sends a message.
Sounds like this crowd's got something on their minds, King.
Who cares about them, JR? Look what's going on in the ring. I feel so lucky that I'm actually getting to see these superstars wrestle each other.
Me too, King. This one has the potential to become an instant classic.
I can't remember the last time I saw superstars this fired up. I don't think they've even considered the possibility that they might not win this thing.
There's an awful lot of pride on the line here, King. No one in that ring wants to have to go back to the locker room as a loser.
The intensity of these superstars is unbelievable.
No doubt about that, King. The fans are getting their money's worth here tonight.
After some of the things we've seen in this ring, JR, I think we'd better remind the folks at home not to try this stuff themselves.
That's for damn sure, King. The WWE superstars are trained professionals.
And even they don't walk away from every match in the best shape.
They sure don't. We've seen more than one superstar taken out of here on a stretcher.
I think it's pretty obvious which way this one's going to go, JR.
Well, from my perspective, this is still anybody's match.
I'd like to see things from your perspective, JR, but I'd have to get my head out of my rear end first.
And Lord knows it's been up there for so long that that would be no easy feat.
I tell you, JR, this one has the potential to be a Match of the Year candidate.
No doubt about it, King. As far as I'm concerned, any WWE match has that potential. Everyone on the roster is an accomplished wrestler.
I think these superstars have a...
No! No! How can the referee allow something like that?
Come on, JR. You know that the referee's health plan doesn't include vision.
I tell you, King, sometimes I get exhausted just watching these superstars compete.
I know what you mean, JR. I don't think most people appreciate what incredible athletes these WWE superstars really are.
You've got to have some excellent conditioning to be able to do what they do.
Well, that's the name of the game, JR. You got to keep moving. No dog ever peed on a moving car.
Oh, that's a lovely image, King. I'd ask you where you come up with this stuff, but I don't think I want to know, quite frankly. Did you see that? Ring the damn bell! You can't let somebody get away with that!
I don't think the ref saw.
She's looking to end this!
Oh my gosh! And that spear might do it!
I'm not so sure this one's about winning or losing anymore. I think it's become more personal than that.
Of course it's personal, JR. Oh boy, this looks like an all-or-nothing move. What are they gonna do next?
I couldn't even begin to guess, King. That's why they say anything can happen here in the WWE.
I feel like the luckiest guy in the world, JR. I can't believe I actually get paid to do this job.
Well, don't let Mr. McMahon hear you say that, King, or you might wind up having to do it for free.
That's true. I don't want to say that Mr. McMahon's cheap, JR, but I heard he won't even tip a canoe. I thought I'd pick the winner before the match started, JR, but now I'm having second thoughts.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, King. Usually I wonder if you've even had first thoughts.
It's matches like this that make this the greatest job in the world, JR.
Absolutely, King. I wouldn't trade it for anything. I'm sure these competitors have studied each other very carefully.
This match would be over by now if they hadn't, JR. You never get into the ring without doing your homework.
That would be a recipe for disaster for sure, King.
Climbing up the turnbuckle isn't bad. It's all the ways you could come down that hurt. Oh my gosh! Can you imagine getting beaten with your own finisher, JR? I'd hate to be that referee, JR. Can you imagine having to tell one of these superstars no?
Here's your winner, Michelle McCool.